We're live. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. Today, we have an amazing guest today. He has a tremendous wealth of knowledge in terms of Amazon. We have Yoni Mazur here. He's the Chief Growth Officer and co-founder of GETIDA. And this video, we'll be talking exactly what is GETIDA, how it works, and how exactly it can help your Amazon business and ultimately get money back into your pocket. Me personally, I've been using GETIDA for about half a year now, and they've actually covered a couple thousands for me in terms of reimbursement money that I never had. So that's kind of like their magic and specialty there. If you want to come try it out, they actually have a special promo code. First $400 is for free. So a link with that, it's going to be on the description. And Yoni, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your information about your company today.
You got it. Thank you so much, Lester, for having me on. Just a quick question. All the money you recovered with the reimbursements, right? Money you would never have. What'd you do with it?
I put it back in inventory.
There
Yes,
we
sir.
go. Grow your business, focus on the game. You didn't go buy like a Rolex or whatever for a few $1,000s. You put it back in the business, because if you reinvest and grow the business and make something big, if you ever want that Rolex, it's fine. But it's better if you have a house to live in, and if you want to raise a family, your kids can have food on the table, stuff like that. It's more long term, and
Exactly.
will nourish generations to come. But from a little humble place and beginning, thank you so much for having me again, Lester. As you mentioned, I'm one of the co-founders and chief growth officer of GETIDA. Today, we prepared a presentation for for your followers for the YouTube channel. We're gonna give you an introduction to Amazon FBA auditing and reimbursements, so any of you watching this can take real action and really make money. This is kind of the ambition. I want to make sure that we deliver some value to you, that if you take action, you'll make money alone. You don't have to, you're going to take your own action and make money. And of course, if you ever need our help with GETIDA, that's fine. Like Lester mentioned, he prepared an offer for you, a $400 offer. So with your permission, I'm going to share my screen and we'll get right into it in a moment. In just 1 second.
Let's do it.
There we go. All right. Let me see if I got it correctly. I got this screen and I got that screen, and I want to basically this screen. 1 second. Almost there. I swear. All right, there you go. Okay, so welcome to an introduction to Amazon FBA auditing and reimbursements. As you can see, that's myself. We discussed about myself a little bit, but a little bit more about GETIDA. What's GETIDA? Is it GETIDA? Is it GETIDA? How do you say it? It doesn't really matter. It's an acronym. It stands for Get Idea, which is Get Intelligent Data Analytics. We like to see ourselves as a global leader in Amazon FBA auditing and reimbursements for the simple fact that we operate on a global level. So whether you sell on Amazon US, Canada, Mexico, UK, EU, we got you covered. We are an award-winning company. Okay, we won the Inc. 5000 award and the Gold Award from the American Business Awards. We're also featured on the Amazon Partner Network, so we're partnered with Amazon. We have a dedicated team of claims specialists. A big part of our team are former Amazon employees who used to work in those departments, the FBA reimbursements departments. We like to track our recovery rate, and it's one of the highest in the industry. We take a lot of pride in hosting a lot of Amazon seller events. So if you ever wonder what is the next event that we're in, just visit getida.com/events. Happens to be the Lester and I, we met in an event.
Yep.
Let's remember the event that we met in?
Yeah, it was last year, 2022 ASD in Las Vegas. You guys
Vegas,
had an
baby.
event with, other Amazon companies, and it was a great and wonderful way that to just like network, but also, share information and just talk shop in terms of Amazon in general.
There we go. Yeah. A growth mindset altogether. So if you ever wonder what's next, visit this, getida.com/events. And we like to make our solutions affordable for all sellers at any stage. This means if you're a brand new seller just getting started, you're welcome to join. It's free to join GETIDA. There's no subscription. There's no cost or anything like that. We only make money if you make money. Only if we get your money back you never had. Only then we get rewarded. So it makes a very affordable solution, an affordable solution for all sellers at any stage. Also, we have a bunch of content going around. We have 2 podcast shows, Prime Talk and Selenomics. In these shows, you'll be able to learn much more about the industry and also discover fascinating, successful people from the industry from all these categories. So you can check that out as well. And okay, so let's start with a quick update from Amazon. If this is Chinese, you can't really understand what's going on. Don't worry. Very, very soon, you're going to know what's going on. Amazon, this is, we're recording this early 2023, so January 31st, 2023. Amazon is basically changing the name of the game when it comes to auditing and the reports and the data that's needed for reimbursements. So they basically took a number of reports and they consolidated to a single report. In other words, they're trying to make it a bit easier, which is good news. Okay, now here's a quick overview of the name of the game. Okay, just to step back a little bit, you guys sell on Amazon, you sell on Amazon FBA, you ship your products into Amazon's fulfillment centers, right? Let's say you're a seller, you shipped 1,000 units. Amazon, instead of receiving 1,000 units, they only received 990 units. So 10 units are missing. Okay, that's called FBA inbound shipments. Okay, you, the seller, need to take action in order, to have Amazon investigate where the missing units are. If you open a case and they found there's missing units, great. Now you can sell them and make money. All good. If not, and they lost it, they're going to pay you a reimbursement. They're going to pay you a refund, okay, for this lost unit. And so in America, in the Amazon US, you have 9 months to reconcile all the shipments you ship to Amazon. And then in the UK and EU, you have 6 months. So this is kind of the name of the game of the time frames, just so you guys know. And then keep in mind that once your units and inventory is inside Amazon's fulfillment centers, okay, these units can get lost or damaged or have customer refund issues or FBA removal issues. And these types of issues, you can look back up to 18 months. You can go back a year and a half to get all these refunds you never dreamed that are available even for you. Okay, keep that in mind. And also weight and dimension fees, which means that every product that you sell on FBA gets charged a fee based on the weight and dimension. So the larger and heavier Amazon software thinks your product is, the more they're going to charge you with fees, and that could be incorrect. And if you find that issue, you're eligible for a refund. You can go back 3 months to get all your money. Okay, and anything that happened beyond the 3 months, you're not going to get your money. So the first things first, recognizing the issues, knowing the time frames allowed to take action for them, this is kind of the entry point that we're having here. Okay, in this presentation, I'm going to teach you the basics. Things can get very complex very quickly. So if this is too overwhelming, no worries. There are solutions out there that help with all of this. It happens to be that GETIDA were one of them. So if you ever need our help, we'll be happy to help. But the ambition here is to give you the fundamentals so you can take some action and get refunds and take that money and grow your business just like Lester is doing. Okay. All right. Here is the first kind of thing from the list. This is inbound shipments. We're going to go over it. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Okay. So you visit Amazon Sell Essential. You go to inventory. You go to manage FBA shipments. Okay. And then it's going to show you this, this shipment log. And you scroll down and you try to find, a shipment that has an issue. And typically it's going to look like this. This is the shipment information. Units expected are 216 units. Units received, 0. The status of the shipment is closed. Boom, needs attention. What do?
Yep.
You click the blue area, and it's going to open up this page. And in this page, you see you have the title, information, and over here in this area, you see discrepancy minus 216. So you have a drop-down menu. What you want to do is choose this option, research missing units. That's kind of the first thing you do. And then if you do that, Amazon might, not necessarily, but might ask you for documentation. High level, there's 2 types of documentations, POD or POP. Okay, POD is proof of delivery. POP is proof of purchase. Okay, so let's go over it for a second. Let's work on the terminology, what it all means. And then if you're educated enough, you'll know what to give Amazon in order for them to investigate where the missing units are and give you a refund. So POD is proof of delivery, which means typically what it means is that it's a stamped BOL. It's a bill of lading that has a stamp that Amazon has its logo on it. It says, yes, we got the shipment. Okay, and if Amazon asks you for a POD, proof of delivery, you got to give it to them. So if you want to get more into the Amazon lingo or language, here's what this is copied from Amazon. Proof of delivery is for LTL, FTL shipments, a bill of lading showing the number of boxes and the shipment and total weight and was picked up by the carrier. The document must be stamped by Amazon confirming that the shipment was received and signed at the fulfillment center, blah, blah, blah. If you really want to dive into the words of Amazon, you can scan this 2D barcode and it'll take you to Sell Essential to Amazon to learn more if you really want to learn more. By high level, if they ask you for a POD, a proof of delivery, it's a stamped BOL from your carrier. So if you're using carrier, tell them, hey, I need the POD. They'll give you the document that you need. Second type here is POP, proof of purchase. So if you guys are into reselling, okay, because you're online arbitrage, that means an invoice. So make sure anything that you sell on Amazon, you always have an invoice for, because if they ever lose it or damage it or anything like that and they didn't invoice to reimburse you, you have it ready. Okay, it's very important because you want to get your money. So POP, this is kind of what they write. Proof of inventory ownership. Proof of inventory ownership will help you identify any potential discrepancies that may have occurred. Some examples of acceptable documents are an invoice from a supplier or a receipt from another seller, signed packing slip. To make it simple, if you're a reseller, you need an invoice. If you're a private label seller, you don't need an invoice. Instead of an invoice, you could give him a packing slip. But I want to focus on the resellers and the online arbitrage at this point. So high level, this is kind of the name of the game for all these these documents that are needed for inbound shipments.
I have a question in terms of POD, proof of delivery.
Go ahead.
So, online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, we normally don't ship like big shipments. It might be, a few U-Haul box or Home Depot. How would that work in terms of receipt? Would they just give them a UPS receipt?
So when you usually send those shipments to Amazon, where do you buy the shipment? Do you buy it inside Amazon Sell Essential? Yes or no?
Correct.
You do, right? So if you
Yeah,
if you buy it on Amazon Sell Essential, they will never ask you for POD, so you're doing good. Don't worry about that.
Oh, awesome.
Keep that in mind. Yeah. Typically, they're only going to ask you if you're buying it outside of Amazon. Because if you're buying it from Amazon, they have the tracking ID, so their system already knows that it got delivered. But if you're buying it outside of Amazon system, how would they know? That's when they ask you for a POD, or proof of delivery. It makes sense, right?
Yes.
That's why it's a really good question, by the way. I never got asked that, so it's good. It's pretty good. Very impressive. Okay, so now we're getting into the weeds of it. It's becoming a bit more sophisticated. Oh, by the way, I do want to touch this part on the bottom here. This is a tip. Okay, this is from Amazon. Quoted: if you provided a receipt or an invoice as a proof of inventory ownership, the price you paid for the item is not required. It may be hidden. So if you were to, your suppliers, where you're getting it from, what's the price you're getting, if you don't want Amazon to see it, that's fine by Amazon. You can hide it. So, because I know some sellers telling me, I don't want to show Amazon my suppliers and how much I'm paying. They're going to buy, they're going to compete, stuff like that. No worries. Just cover the pricing. They're never going to know how much you paid. So it's all good and they're okay with it.
Cool.
Okay, now I want to go into demo time. I want to go into GETIDA, and let's see what I can do here.
So, Yoni, while you pull that up, I do have a question in terms of lost inventory, right? So you showed a couple examples. How can that be lost? Like, what exactly caused it? Is it just from fulfillment center to fulfillment center? Is it employee just damaging it? What are some of the main common reasons in terms of lost inventory in general?
Got it. So obviously, when they receive it in the fulfillment centers, it can be a variety of issues. It can be something from the carrier. The carrier, didn't ship all. He shipped in, I don't know, 15 boxes. They only delivered 14, so they got lost in transit. Okay, but Amazon will reimburse you. They're gonna settle the score with the carrier later, so don't worry about that, guys. Don't overwhelm yourself. And also, after the units are inside Amazon's fulfillment center, inside the center, they get lost or damaged. Also, between the centers, sometimes Amazon might ship the products from Kentucky to California, from California to Nevada to have a 1 or 2 day prime shipping. So things get lost or damaged there. Also, from the fulfillment center to the consumers, the customers, same things happen. Consumers back to Amazon with all the refunds. From Amazon back to you, the sellers. All these logistics friction points, that's when all these issues happen. And you have to kind of dig into the data, find the issue, present to Amazon, and get a recovery. Does that answer the question?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Okay, good. All right, so welcome to the GETIDA platform. We're going to give you a little tour here. You see, as soon as you land on GETIDA, it'll show you the dashboard in the past 30 days. For example, we filed 30 cases, 100% success rate. We got $200. We're still looking into $30,000 worth of issues. Okay, and if you go into inbound shipment, it's a nice module that we have over there. Let's take a look. We got our friend here. I think this is Doug. He's actually today here in the office next to me, not too far, but he's around, because we also have this thing popping on the right if you ever need like support or help. But here, I want to take you to inbound shipments. You see, it shows you all the shipment IDs that have an issue. Remember how I told you can go to Sell Essential and go to the log and find those shipments that have an issue? That can take time for you or for your VA. But instead, you can just sign up to GETIDA. It's free of charge. And just go to inbound shipments, and right away, you can click on potential value and work from the shipments that are worth the highest to the lowest. So it saves you a tremendous amount of time and labor, because when you find the shipments on Amazon, it doesn't tell you the value, or you got to pull up every shipment. Here right away, it helps you to focus on the issue. And here on the bottom, it shows you the total value of all the shipments that you need to reconcile. So in this case, it's about $21,000 for all these shipments that on this account. One second. And you'll see that right away it tells you which shipments need POP, proof of purchase, all the invoices. So you can click this, you'll get an Excel file, boom, you know which shipments need an invoice, and you can get to work. And you'll see here, this is the one who tells you the POD, the proof of delivery, if Amazon is asking you for it. Once again, if you're using Amazon's partner carrier, they're not going to ask you for it, so you're good to go. Okay, so this is within the dashboard with the GETIDA platform. It shows you quickly how you can kind of save time and headaches, but just using it because the data is just there. It gives you instant visibility.
It does, yeah. Once you go in there, it just makes it easier in terms of just finding it one by one. And if you just want to explain regarding to the viewers here, like what benefit in terms of not just for the Amazon but GETIDA itself, because you guys are collecting data, right? So are you able to tell which fulfillment centers are doing a lot of missing? Because for me, like I did a lot of shoes and I sent a lot of stuff to IND4 and there were a lot of issues. I'm not sure if you heard about it regarding missing shoes, just missing inventory in general. So if you want to just kind of maybe talk about it, if you know anything.
So we have all the data. The thing is that you got to keep in mind that no ASIN is like another ASIN, and we audit tens of billions of dollars worth of transactions every day. And then every ASIN is different. You're sending out shoes, so for that warehouse for shoes, maybe it's not a good warehouse, but maybe for kitchenware it's really good. Or if you're sending in glassware, one warehouse could be really really good, right?
I see. Okay.
The one could be really sloppy. They drop the ware. So there's so much data going on, and it's so many variables. It's not like we can really determine because also you have the human factor. You have shifts also. One team is really good. And the same fulfillment center. It could be that one shift is really good. The other shift, maybe the night shift, is not as good. Maybe they're more sleepy. Call it. So at the end of the day, I guess the most prudent thing you can do as a seller, just audit. So whenever you owe money, they'll pay it to you, and it is what it is. You can't imagine this. You know that this warehouse is not really good at receiving, but you can't really do much about it because Amazon's going to tell you need to ship it
Yep.
there. So
Yep.
nothing much to do. So I guess the way around it is if they ever do mess up, you're ready to go. You have your SOPs, you have a standard of procedure, so you have a plan for it. You can take action, and you're good to go. Just keep moving. The idea is to really build your business, keep moving, and have a kind of this bulletproof approach where all these issues and challenges coming that you're going to face, you have a solution for them, and you can do things at scale and really build yourself up and make a good amount of money.
Yeah, and that's where your company really comes into play because especially if you're a new seller, you just want to focus on growing and seeing results on Amazon. The last thing you want is worrying about stuff on the back end, and if you're not familiar with it, there's a lot of things going on, and your company just makes that simple in terms of getting money back into their pocket and also peace of mind that stuff getting lost in inventory, but it will get fixed regardless.
Yeah, correct. Because the thing is this, you guys are building yourself, so you always got to look forward.
Yep.
You don't want to look backwards. I mean, you could, but it's not a good investment of your time. You have what's called ROT or ROT, return on time. You have you have limited amount of time. You want to invest it into the components, the things that really will grow your business. The sourcing, the launching, the selling, revenue. Sales is the business. You're in the business of selling stuff, not like looking back and opening this and checking that. You could, but typically you get more results when you focus on moving forward and really growing. And then if you can get the right help to help you dig into the past, and they can really excel at it and give you the maximum impact that you need, that makes it kind of a good partnership long term. So you don't also burn yourself out. Okay, you got to keep them in mind as well. Okay, let's see what we got now. Let's go back to the game. Let's go back to the next slide so I can give you guys some more value and some more tips. Let's see what we can do. Okay, now it's going to get a bit more sophisticated. We know the first touch was checking the shipments. Now we're going to teach you, once again, if it's too complicated, it's okay, reach out for help. But if you are still with us and you got some brain capacity, let's try this out. Reconcile all FBA loss and damage units in the past 18 months. So you visit Amazon Sell Essential, you go to reports, you go to fulfillment, and on this area over here called inventory, it's a file or a report called inventory ledger. It's actually brand new. That goes back to what I told you earlier with the January 31st. That's where basically you can only use this report now instead of other reports. And then once you open that report, you're going to see all the units that got lost. You can have a column, units got lost or unit got damaged. So from that report, for units that got damaged, you can take the transaction ID and you copy paste it into this tool that Amazon has on Sell Essential. And if you want to get access to it, just scan this code. You'll get access to this tool. And then we'll scan if this damaged unit is eligible for reimbursement. If it is, you'll click on next. It'll open a case and it'll take care of you. Okay, but you got to do it for each unit that got damaged in the past 18 months. All right, so it can get a bit of tedious in the copy paste element, but you got to do it. And then all the units that you find in that report that got lost in the warehouse, you copy paste the F and SKU. So here you copy paste the transaction ID. Here you copy and paste the F and SKU. And once again, if it's eligible for reimbursement, you'll be able to click continue, and you'll go through that funnel. All right, so this is high level how you kind of audit and reconcile the past 18 months for any units that got damaged or lost. Questions?
No questions.
Pretty straightforward. All right, good. That's good. Okay, now I want to give you guys a case study. It's a $5 million case, seller case study. How do we know it's a $5 million seller? Sold $219,000 in 2 weeks. So 4 weeks is $440,000 times 12 months is about $5 million. And you have this beautiful blue area of all the money that's coming in. And unfortunately, you also have the red area of all the money that's coming out in fees, right? So if you look here to the untrained eye, you see where it says FBA fees. So you think, oh, it's very thin. I'm not paying too much in FBA fees. But look at this chunky Amazon fees area. So I'm here to tell you with this case study and unpackage things for you and tell you that misleading, because within Amazon fees, which are $77,000, $43,000 are in FBA fees. And which fees are these? These are the pick and pack fees or the fulfillment fees. What are these fees? What's a fulfillment fee or pick and pack fee? It's when you sell a unit on FBA, Amazon will pick the unit from the bin. They're going to package it in a box. They're going to ship it out, and they charge you a fee for that. And you see here with this case study, $43,000 out of $219,000 in sales. That's almost 20% from revenue. So this is the king or undisputed king of FBA fees. And look at the impact.
Wow.
Yeah, look at the impact. So you have, the pick and pack fees, all the rest of the FBA fees, that's about 20%. Don't forget, you got the selling fees, which is about 15%. You'll see that 35% of all the sellers' revenue are in Amazon fees, which are burning through the margin. Okay? So here's the idea here. I recommend everybody to know how much you're paying in fees. So this way, if it's measurable, you can improve it. So if you can really create a way for you to reduce 35% to 34% or 33% or 32%, you're going to keep more money in your pocket. So here's kind of the lesson. The fact that it's all based on winning dimensions, you need to check and audit if there's maybe a mistake by Amazon. Because what can happen is that Amazon might have the wrong data. I'll give you an example. There's many other examples, but I'll give you maybe 2 examples, actually. Here's the first one. Maybe you guys are reselling, online arbitrage, a handbag. And that handbag, when you sent it into Amazon, it was perfectly packed. But let's say you got a customer return. And we got returned, the customer put a strap on the handbag. And now Amazon has this big machine called Cubic Scan Machine. They're going to scan the dimensions of this handbag. And all of a sudden, the strap is going to add like 30 inches. So Amazon, instead of charging you like $3 every time you sell the unit, they're going to charge you $10. And from that point on, you're going to sell 1,000 units. It's $7,000. They're going to overcharge you. Honest mistake, but it can happen because this is how kind of the system works. Another thing is that it can be maybe your competitor is targeting you, right? You may be competing with somebody, and then they can take the ASIN and change all the winning dimensions. They leave it. They never sell it, but you keep on selling it. It's your best seller, but you're paying all these fees. You're actually losing money. You're not making money because instead of charging you $3, maybe they're charging you $20. And actually you're losing money because you're paying all this money in fees. It could be all these noises. Whatever it is, you got to make sure you audit and see if any of these ASINs might have incorrect data. And because of that, Amazon is overcharging you with fees. And of course, if you see they're overcharging you with fees, you got to open a case to accomplish 2 things. First thing, make sure to fix the fees so that going forward, they correct you around the right amount of fees so you don't lose your margin. And the second thing, you're able to go back 3 months and get all these refunds. Okay, so once again, going back to the case study, all the money's coming in, all the money's coming out. Now you guys are much smarter. You realize the impact of FBA fees. Okay, you realize you can measure it, and you can take some actions to lower it, right? Because if you realize it was a mistake and you lowered it, you're gonna make more margin, and you're gonna get some refunds, which is a cool combination. Questions on this, Lester?
Yeah, I have a question. So, as a reselling community, we had mentioned, for example, let's say shoes, right? How will GETIDA know, or where does they come in terms of I need to put in like dimensions if it's the wrong one, for example? Like, do I just go in your dashboard or?
Yeah, great point. So let's go back to the dashboard, and you'll see that on the left side we have a pick and pack module, and this pick and pack module, if you guys ever want, you can go one by one, or you can export or import a table, a chart, and you're going to be able to give us the winning dimensions of each product. And if you guys are doing online arbitrage, most likely you have the data because you're selling big brands. Big brands
Yeah.
have the data on their catalogs or their websites, especially if you're selling shoes. I mean, the standard. If you know that most shoes, all the shoes you're selling are, the box is like 12 inches. All of a sudden you see on the ASIN, instead of being 12 inches, it's 39 inches and you're being overcharged, boom. So just give us the data and we'll take the action for you.
And simple plug and play right there.
That's it. Yeah. Once we have the data, we can take the action. But if we don't have the data, we can't make the assumption for you. Okay, good. All right. So here's also a little bonus for you guys. This is free tools for Amazon sellers. You can just scan this code or visit getida.com/ebook. You'll get a package of two things. The first thing is an ebook to how to read an Amazon income statement. In other words, understand all the money that's coming in, all the money that's coming out. And if you don't want to know anything about it, give it to your bookkeeper or your accountant, so they at least understand what's going on in the Amazon world, because it's a whole world. Most entry level accountants and bookkeepers don't really understand what's going on with Amazon. All the money that's coming
Exactly.
in, all the money's coming out, all the fees, they have no idea. So hopefully this will help you or them. And the second thing you get is a profit and loss template. I used to use it myself every month in our business. We used to use this template and understand exactly to the penny if we're making money, or worse, we're losing money. And if we're losing money, we know it's every month. And we are able to kind of track where and why we're losing money, especially which ASINs are listing, stuff like that, once we see that we really lost money. So if this is any help, I hope it is. You guys feel free to use it. It's all yours and it's free. So you can't argue with that. Unless you wanted to mention something.
Yes, you guys were huge sellers, right? In Amazon, over 100 million sales. How important was it taking care of leakage in the business when you were like, deep into it in terms of inventory
It becomes
loss?
a
But
religion. It becomes a religion. It's all about the bottom line. Making a million, 10 million, 100 million, it's nice, but it's not the business. The real challenge is how much money you get to keep.
yeah, what's that
Yeah,
saying? They have revenue is vanity, profit is sanity.
yeah, it's not about. There's another phrase. It's not about. Not about the looks. It's about the juice, something like that. I forgot, but yeah, it's top line revenue is cool. That's a driver, but the real art is to make sure that you control all your cost structures, and it trickles down to a bottom line. You have to get religious about it, and know when to cut. And it's very hard because people get emotional. Oh, this product, I made so much money by, with it. It's not making money anymore. Let it go. And it might not even make money again, but you can keep your eyes on it, but don't buy it. Stop buying it. Oh, but I have a relationship with this supplier again. All this stuff around, you got to master it. You got to be in a Zen situation to really contain the bottom line, especially when you reach scale. When we're a bit smaller, it's a bit easier because you're so much in control. But when you reach scale, you
Yep.
got team, with you. You got 20, 30, 40 people. You got purchasing managers. You got HR. I mean,
It
you
gets
got to make
crazy.
sure. Yeah, you got to make sure you make enough profit, because if you don't, all this talent that you gather around you, you're gonna have to say goodbye to some of it. You don't want
Yeah.
to let people
And
go, right? That's real world stuff.
exactly. And we don't just see it in small business, even like big tech companies going on right now. Like, for example, let's use like Twitter, they're Elon just came in there and released a bunch of employees, and he's saying they can run Twitter with 75% less employees to have and still be the same. So it's just like trimming and cutting the fat. And unfortunately, we had to come into this, something called recession in order to do that.
Yeah, I think I just recalled the phrase. It's not about the show; it's about the dough. So people showing, oh, look how much revenue I made on Amazon. This and it's cool, but it's not about the show. You know what it's about? It's about the dough.
The
How much you
dough.
really keep out of it. Yeah, that's the phrase that people, I remember I heard in the industry. So keep that in mind. Hopefully these tools will help you. Okay, let's do a quick recap. High level, right? 3 points to mention here. Just so you know, FBA discrepancies, all these issues that happen with the inventory, they might be eligible for refunds, can equate to one or basically up to 3%. So between 1 to 3% from your annual sales. So if you're doing 100,000 a year on Amazon, it could be 1 to 3,000. If you're doing a million, that could be 10 to 30,000. On and on it goes. Okay, that's kind of the rule of thumb. You're able to go back up to 18 months on the issues, so don't miss out, because if you ever miss out, you're never going to get the money. And then, of course, when you open cases with Amazon and Amazon replies to you and they ask for more information, make sure to give it to them. Don't expect, okay, open a case, that's it. Sometimes they might say, oh, we need more explanation here and there and there, or if we need documentation and we went over which documentation is needed. Remember, POD, POP, make sure to give it to them, pay attention to that. And if you kind of wonder why you might still need help with FB auditing, this is kind of more things that we look into. If any of these look like Chinese, it probably means that you're leaving money behind. So I don't want to overwhelm people, but that's kind of the world we live in. And yeah, here's a quick recap about the GETIDA options versus other options that are out there in the marketplace, and they're all good. The idea is that really to help you with your profile and your dimension and your level of comfort. But quick notes here, about GETIDA, we're highly specialized. This is all we do. We don't sell on Amazon anymore. We don't have an agency. We don't. This is all we do. I always laugh about this. I say, if you talk to us about sports, we know nothing. You want to talk to us about reimbursements? We can talk all day. So highly specialized, highly focused. We have a team of ex-Amazonians processing the claims. We look over 30 kinds of issues and reimbursement claims. We work for you every day. Every day that goes by, we scan your accounts. It's like live and ongoing constantly. It's not like we do every 3 months, 6 months. Some other providers kind of have that profile. We provide international coverage, so if we ever expand globally, we're ready for you. We're available in the Amazon App Store and the Amazon Seller Central Partner Network. What does that mean? That we're partnered with Amazon? It means that we're legit, right? Because we have a responsibility for you guys, the seller, but also for Amazon to make sure that we're terms of service compliant. Data security, private policy, we got to perform on the highest level. What do we do with your data? Where is it stored? Things of that nature. That's something to kind of have in mind, because other providers in the marketplace, they might be in a basement somewhere with no regards to what to do with your data, where they store it, what they do with it, or if they want to compete with you, stuff like that. But let's see other options. Other options, they're not specialized. They kind of also do this. I do this in this and this, but also do that. It's cute, but doesn't give you the maximum impact. So the FBI refunds are upsold as a feature. It's an upselling kind of component. Typically handle low-hanging fruit, the easy stuff, but they don't go deeper because it's harder. It takes labor. It takes a lot of intellectual work. They don't take open cases across the finish line. They might open a case. Amazon needs more data. They're just gonna let it go. They're not gonna touch it. Or they have a subscription. Say, pay me X amount every month. Whatever I get for you, great. Whatever I don't, you still pay me. Right? That's easy to understand. Or they're not authorized. Right? They're not authorized, so they have no. They're not bounded to Amazon terms of service, so they can play funny games. Maybe it's not the best thing for your Amazon account, because that's probably the most important asset that you have in the world. Keep in mind, the Amazon seller account is a business machine, a digital business machine that generates money. So you should handle it better than any Ferrari, hopefully, that you guys will ever own. Keep that in mind, because Ferrari, I don't know how much money it's going to be able to give you. Maybe it's going to drain your money. But Amazon Seller Central, if you handle it properly and you hone in on your craft, hopefully it's going to provide you for many years. Or other providers or tools are just a tool. You got to copy paste the thing and you have to do the actual work. They're just a tool. They don't really manage your stuff. So this is high level overview about the GETIDA versus other options. Questions on this, Lester?
Yeah, one of my favorite tools, not tools, but like features in terms of your company GETIDA is the non-subscription model. So if you kind of just want to expand on that, exactly how it works, because some months you might find a lot, next month might find zero. So do you mind just explaining that a little bit and expanding it to newer Amazon sellers?
Yeah. So GETIDA, it's free to join GETIDA. We're purely performance based. So what does it mean? For example, you connect to GETIDA, it's free, it doesn't cost anything. The first 30 days, we get you $100 in FBI refunds. We charge you 25% fee, which will be $25. And then the next $30, we get you $0. How much do you pay, Lester?
Zero.
$0. Okay, so only when it will make you money, that's when we get paid money. So it's very, very comfortable. You don't have to babysit us. I remember one of our clients, when I met him in a show, he said, one of the things I like is that I don't have to babysit the bills, because when I pay you, I get paid more.
Yep.
You always know that if you paid something, you got paid. So that's a fun thing. Because other subscription, you pay for it. Did I use it? Did I not use it? Did my mother use it? Did my sister? You don't know. So it could be that you go months and months before you realize you don't really need it, and you pretty much burn some money.
Yeah, and Sione mentioned, guys, it's free to try. And actually, as you remember earlier in the video, we have the first 400 free. Just type in the promo code; it'll be in the subscription. So give it a
It's right
try.
here. Yeah, check this
There it
out.
is.
I actually prepared for you guys. If you want, just visit getida.com/Lester. And the first $400 we're going to get for you will be free. We're not going to charge you a penny. So that's a guarantee. You're going to have $400 extra in your pocket. It might take us, a few days, a few weeks, but you're going to have that money after $400. If you want to leave us, you can leave. If you want to stay, you can stay. Whatever you guys want to do, that's fine with us. So you can also just scan this code, and it will take you right into the page to claim the offer. Yeah, that's kind of most of what we got for you guys today, just to keep it, on the introduction side. I don't want to overwhelm everybody too much, but the idea is that, after watching this, you know much more about this environment or this challenge called Amazon FBA auditing and reimbursements. You know how to take some action. You know how to reconcile your shipments. You know how to reconcile loss and damage units. You understand the winning dimensions of the fees. So if you can take action alone and get money, great. If you ever need help, we're here to help. Also, we have the $400 offer. But keep in mind that, you can always reach out to me. This is my personal email. You can just scan this. You get more abilities to connect with me either via email or our channels or social media handles and channels and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of the main agenda here for today.
Awesome. Yoni, just want to thank you again for your time. Kind of went over the great basic understanding of GETIDA, how to use it. Again, guys, it's free. Nothing lost to you if you do want to try it. And just have one more question. You guys were huge sellers. We talked about that. In the early stages, how important was it, getting surrounded by, community, whether it's friends, family? If you're just going to walk us through like that first year, second year, because, when someone's getting into the online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, they start as a side hustle. That's how I started. I started,
That's how I started.
re-
Yeah, let me give the quick run. So hopefully we'll
yeah,
give some impact or I guess long term perspective for the ones that are getting started. So we started selling online. My partner and I, more than 10 years ago. We started on eBay. eBay was the main arena for us back in the day, and then in 2013 we started selling on Amazon, and the business boomed very quickly from 0 to 20 million in Amazon FBA revenue. And then from 20 million to 100 million, because we're part of a larger group that together as a group we're doing about 100 million. And in 2013, when we started selling, and this is already into 2014, 15, 16, we're making millions of dollars. And people were asking me back in the day, what do you do for a living? So when I say I sell on Amazon, they thought, oh, it's like selling on eBay. It's like a nice side hustle. They kind of look down on me
yeah, yeah,
and like, oh, poor thing. And I liked it actually. I thought it was great. Because they had whatever jobs they had, and it was great. It was like almost like a secret. But today, the secret is out. There's huge opportunity and huge companies that already do this, and there's a huge organization that were created. They're called aggregators. The past 2-3 years, people were able to raise billions of dollars actually as organizations and buy all these Amazon
buying,
businesses, yeah,
yeah,
and put them all together and create like mega groups. And the money they raise are from real money, and it's from Goldman Sachs, from private equity, pension funds, like the real Wall Street money came into the game because they realized, yeah, this platform, buying and selling products, which is really data driven and gives you access to hundreds of millions of shoppers, and its entry to barrier is much lower than trying to sell your products at a real brick and mortar store like Walmart or Target. You go try to sell products there, you'll see what happens. Extremely hard. You got to go through the buyers. Say, oh, you want to put your stuff on our shelf? Give us $500,000 up front, so just so you put it on the shelf, and also you got to give us a guaranteed margin, which means if you don't sell even one product, you got to guarantee that we're gonna make $1 million profit. That was like
wow,
crazy, and like Amazon's like, no,
yeah,
here, to pay $40 a month, and then find products that there's good demand for them. You can source them. The game is on. Go get them. So, um, but of course, early on it was hard for us to find others like us, because we came a bit early on. But as we grew over the years and we surrounded ourselves with more and more people from the industry, we're able to constantly be ahead of things, understand what's going on, especially when there's challenges and things change and it's very very hard, and somebody figures it out, they share with you because next time you'll share with them also. And everybody wins, and we never had an issue with any of our friends of competing or anything like that, because a huge market, and
yeah,
there's like hundreds and or maybe already in the billions of ASINs and products out there. So everybody's able to kind of find their space, make their money, and just survive this terrain, because it is challenging, but if you master it, you'll make some good money. That's pretty much the name of the game.
yeah. It's been life changing for me. Last year I was working a full time job. Now I'm running a business here, so things can happen real quick as long as you put in your effort into Amazon business.
Yeah, it's great thing as a side hustle, but really to make the real money, my experience showed me that I had to detach from my job. I was doing sales and marketing for a supplements company. It sucked up my time, and yeah, time will be needed, but hopefully you'll get rewarded if you play your time right. Like I mentioned, you focus on all the stuff that really move the needle, and all the stuff that doesn't, you find the best help you can get. We can help on the refunds, but creating listings, finding opportunities, create teams around you, cost effective. that are really hungry and want to do it for you. For us, the hunger is very clear. If we don't make you anything, we don't eat. So we got to hunt. We got to find something, right? That's kind of our take. So if you can build a team around you that has kind of the same mentality, very, very high, chances of a success and very low chances of anybody winning against you because the focus is there.
Awesome. Yoni, thank you again so much. And hopefully I'll see you in Vegas later in the year for ASD. And again, can't thank you enough.
You got it. Take care, everybody.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.